Boa tarde, bom dia. Nós estamos aqui no Lean Summit 2025, o primeiro dia de evento, e a gente está aqui com o Mark Wright, autor e senior coach do Lean Enterprise Institute dos Estados Unidos. E ele está aqui porque a gente está lançando exclusivamente o livro dele, Gestão com Propósito, em português. Ele fez uma palestra, na quinta-feira ele vai fazer um workshop sobre o assunto, que é hoshin, kanri. Então, hoje eu vou mudar para o inglês e a gente vai falar com ele sobre esse lançamento. So, Mark, you're here for the launch of your book in Brazil. And I wanted to ask you for some context. Why did you decide to write about hoshin, kanri?
Okay, well, first of all, let me say bon dia to everyone. And Roberta, thank you for having me here at your summit.
Yeah.
And the chance to interview for the book. Why did I write this book? Well, when I was in Toyota, as part of my career, I spent 23 years with Toyota. Part of that career included 7 years having responsibility as the executive for our strategic planning process in North America. The process that Toyota used internally to manage strategy was something we called hoshin kanri. And I know it's a Japanese term, but it's about how you manage your strategy. So I learned a really great methodology in Toyota for how to develop strategy, execute on it, and develop capability of people as a result. When I left Toyota, however, I found that most companies I visited, many wanted me to come see them because they knew I had this experience in Toyota. But when I visited, I found a big difference between what I saw in Toyota, what I learned and experienced in Toyota, and what I saw outside. So I started to help some organizations in various industries, and I gained some experience as a result of that on how you could apply this in different industries. I realized that I probably in my career can't help everyone. So I wanted to create a book and a workbook that would provide some practical advice for how organizations could apply this in their own organization. So that's why I wrote it.
And here we have it. So this is the book launching now in Portuguese. And I had the privilege to review it for our launch in Portuguese. And so I know that you talk about how it is a problem because some companies try to immediately implement the tool and don't think about it strategically. So why would you think focusing only on the tool and not in the process itself is a problem?
Well, first of all, thank you for reviewing my book, and I think you also helped translate the book, so I greatly appreciate that effort. I'm sure it's wonderful.
It is.
Your translation, anyway. I think this is in my presentation today refer to this. Think about it like health maintenance. If you're thinking about your health, some people want to change. They feel they have a need to change their health situation. Maybe they put on some weight, or they're not feeling well, or they have an illness. And so what the first thing they do is they go out and buy a treadmill, or they buy an elliptical machine, a tool. When in fact what they really need to change is their fundamental mindset about how they eat, or how they think about exercise, or even like how do they structure their time to ensure that they have a chance to exercise. So there's a tendency to want to go to an easy answer. And I think this is true in organizations too, where they see a tool like, and you refer to the X matrix, but it could be any type of tool, as if we simply apply this tool, it will change the culture, the organization, the management system of our company. And I've seen too many organizations actually that have tried that issue. And this isn't unique to hoshin kanri. It's true of any, like the tools of Lean. Often when the organizations lead with the tool, people don't understand the basic thinking and the tool application becomes just surface level, and it's not sustainable. So my book is meant to introduce, I don't necessarily, I have nothing personally against the X matrix, though organizations sometimes find it difficult to, I think, use effectively. But you need some, my book is a workbook, so let me be honest here. I mean, I'm introducing a fair amount of like methodologies and tools organizations can use, but I'm also, more importantly, introducing like the fundamental thinking the organization needs to have in order for those to be effective.
Perfect. So it is actually change of culture. If you don't change the culture of everyone's mindset, it's shallow, right? So we can connect it with daily management. And you talk a little bit about it, and we, in Portuguese, in our edition, we have José Roberto Ferro and Robson Gouveia talking about daily management in the book, in the postface. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think is the connection and the importance of both these practices to work together?
Sure, but let me say something about the first thing you said about culture. I want to be clear. I'm not a big fan of like change the culture first. I mean, culture gets changed in an organization through applying behaviors, applying practices and behaviors in the organization. So organizations shouldn't run and say, well, we need to change the culture. I think that's why I wrote a workbook. Let's apply some of the methodologies through that learning, that trial and error. We will, I think, change the culture. Well, I would say it's an outcome. It's an outcome of new practices change the culture.
Perfect.
When leaders go to and learn about problems, all of a sudden the culture or the organization changes from one that's top down to one where people feel their voice is heard by leaders.
Perfect.
But your question about the relationship of
daily management,
hoshin, kanri, and daily management. That's a really important thing that I speak to in the book. I don't go into depth about daily management because Jose Ferro wrote a book about that with Robson. But I do, I'm pretty explicit about the relationship of hoshin, kanri, and daily management. Daily management is, think about it like this. An organization needs to know minute to minute, day to day, hour by hour how they're doing. And they need to know are we performing how we expected based upon what the organization has set as goals. And so like came from the automotive industry, we measure every day, like how did we make first of all, did we make the number of cars we needed? That based on customer demand. And were those good cars? Did we have quality issues? And are we doing it with the right cost? And are we delivering what the customer wants? Those things organizations have to measure. And the more we can measure them frequently, the better we're able to solve problems when they're still small.
Before they become bigger problems.
Yeah. Separate from that, though, we need a system that also tackles the issues of the marketplace as a company. Because we need to know like whether we're winning or losing in the market from like next year, the following years, the next decade. And so I believe we need a system that helps us manage that too. And that's what hoshin kanri does for you and pushes the organization to think about innovative ways to change the way we work and take on those like longer term challenges.
And just so that we can close it up, you speak about that in the book, but right here in speaking, what would you like to leave for the audience about how hoshin can help organizations survive and thrive, especially with purpose?
Can I say a couple things? I think I'll say a couple things. One is, this is we're talking about your strategy and your long-term objectives. So this isn't something in a year we're going to like transform the entire organization. We'll make change. organizations I see apply this are able to have significant improvement in the first year. But it takes a while to build. We're changing cultural behaviors, including those of the leadership team. So think about this as a journey to some extent. The second thing I want to say is that that journey requires pretty rigorous reflection and PDCA of the organization. So building good, like plan, do, check, act cycles within on a monthly basis, on an annual basis is critical. And then finally, maybe most important point, this is a process of developing capability of people. That was central to everything we did in Toyota. And I go out to organizations and all of a sudden, when we talk about strategy, all of a sudden it's just about strategy. It's not about how we develop people, but it's an important part of my book. It's an important part of like being successful, because leaders and others in the organization, they're people too. And and this is a great way to develop people to help transform the company, to make it sustainable going forward.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Mark, for coming here and for making it possible for us to launch this book for Brazilian enterprises. And thank you so much.
Sure. Very nice to be here. Thank you.